Ibrahim Raisi's helicopter crash came as a shock, but it's not the first time something like this has happened. History is filled with many such mysterious crashes that have killed powerful figures, and nobody can tell for sure if they were accidents or murder plots. The latest victim was Yevgeny Prigozhin, Putin's chef. It might be fresh in your memory. The Wagner chief was on board a private jet from Moscow to St. Petersburg. The plane was Embraer Legacy 600. In its 20 years of operation, it had recorded only one accident, that too due to mistakes by the crew instead of a technical failure. The exact moment of the plane going down was caught on camera. Take a look.
Пиздец, это беспилотник. Сбили, бабахнуло, в 2 раза взорвало.
How did this happen? The preliminary assessment concluded that a planned explosion caused the crash. Fingers were raised at the Kremlin, but it maintained silence, denying any involvement. However, the timing of it all could not be ignored. The crash came nearly 2 months after Prigozhin's failed mutiny, remember. First he disappeared, then he released a video message seemingly from Africa, and a week later, he ended up dying in that plane crash. Who was behind all of this? It still remains a mystery. Another such death was of General Muhammad Zia-ul Haq. He was the 6th president of Pakistan. The year was 1988. On the 17th of August, General Zia-ul Haq was aboard a Lockheed C-130 Hercules. Along him were some of his generals and the American ambassador to Pakistan, Arnold Louis Raphael. They had flown to a desert site in Bahawalpur to watch a demonstration of the M1A battle tanks. The US had been pressing Pakistan to buy them. When the officials were traveling back to Islamabad, they met with a tragedy nobody saw coming, only a few miles out of Bahawalpur. The plane reportedly went up and down for a while before hitting the ground almost perpendicularly. This is what the wreckage looked like. A Pakistani official who was the first to reach the crash site told Dawn that he saw dismembered body parts of the general. He recognized them based on the general's clothes. Again, there were many questions. Was the crash a result of technical failure or an assassination? Was it a case of sabotage? If yes, then who was involved? Later, several commissions were formed by the Pakistani government to find out the truth, the cause behind the crash. One of them was Shafiqur Rahman Commission. It thoroughly investigated the incident, but the reports were never released. Why so? That also remains a mystery. Even the post-mortems of the bodies were stopped by a higher order. But there is a theory that is largely believed to be true. It is the mango crate theory. General Zia-ul Haq's son and former Pakistani minister Muhammad Ijazul Haq has also confirmed it. So what's the speculation? That the crates loaded in the plane not only carried mangoes but explosives as well. According to media reports, Ijazul Haq has said that there is evidence that the mango crates carried explosives. But that's not the full story. He also claimed that nerve gas was also pumped into the cabin to paralyze the pilots. Was that why the plane went up and down before crashing? And again, who is behind all of this? There are conspiracies pointing at President Zia-ul Haq's military secretary, but they have not been proven. And then there was the Air India 101 crash. The plane was carrying 117 passengers and crew members. Among them was a nuclear physicist and the father of India's nuclear program, Homi Jehangir Baba. Baba was a huge strategic asset to India. Losing him was a major setback to India's nuclear program. So what really happened? Only if we could find out. All we know is the flight took off from Mumbai. It was en route London via Delhi, Beirut and Geneva. The flight took off from Beirut but crashed a few minutes before landing in Geneva. Where exactly? at Europe's second highest peak, Mont Blanc. The precise reasons why the plane went down still remain unknown, but a strong theory is the CIA was involved. I say this based on an excerpt from a book. The book is titled Conversations with the Crow. It's a transcript of journalist Gregory Douglas's interview with retired CIA agent Robert Crowley. Let me read out what Crowley said about India and Homi J. Bhabha. I'm quoting, "We had trouble, with India back in the 60s when they got uppity and started work on an atomic bomb. And we did not want them to have any kind of nuclear weaponry. Oh yes, and their head expert was fully capable of building a bomb, and we knew just what he was up to. He was warned several times, but what an arrogant prick that one was. Name was Homi Bhabha. That one was dangerous, believe me. He was flying to Vienna to stir up more trouble when his 707 had a bomb go off in the cargo hold, and they all came down on a high mountain way up in the Alps. We could have blown it up over Vienna, but we decided the high mountains were much better for the bits and pieces to come down on." Quote unquote. Let me repeat that. Quoting again, "We could have blown it up over Vienna, but we decided the high mountains were better." That is what the former CIA agent said on record. What more confession do we really need? Maybe it's not as big a mystery as we thought it to be. But Raisi's death is. What happened to him adds to the long list of unsolved, high-profile air crashes. To stay up to speed with the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.